Hello, everyone. Welcome to Literary Themes Summer School Edition. I am Mrs. Liptak. Our course this year runs from June 12th all the way through July 14th. You do get Juneteenth off, so June 19th, and then you also get July 4th off. Okay. This is me. Some of you I know are Belleville West students, so you have no idea who I am. My name is Mrs. Liptak, but I think my Google Classroom is still under my maiden name, Zap. So I apologize for any confusion that might cause. If at any point you have any questions, feel free to email me at dliptak@bths201.org. You can also Google chat me, but again, email is just a little safer because I won't forget about it. All right, so this is really an independent reading course. So it's great for summer school because you can basically complete things throughout the week on your own time. So the reason independent reading is so important is because if you read just for only 20 minutes a day, again, that's not very long, you will see the following benefits. So your standardized testing scores and overall grades will improve. So again, like if you didn't score what you wanted to score on the SAT, maybe try that test again at the end of the summer and see if you do any better in that reading section. People who read 20 minutes a day are more likely to vote, are more likely to be employed, are more likely to be employed with higher paying jobs and make more money, and are more likely to live longer. So even knowing these statistics, sadly, most Americans do not read independently. So less than 20% of adults complete 20 minutes of reading each day, and less than 40% of teens do this. So again, if you make this a part of your kind of daily routine, I think you will see yourself overpass your peers very quickly. Okay. Just a little bit about the course. So I will post weekly assignments before 8:30 on Mondays. Sometimes I might even do it Sunday evening. Weekly assignments are always going to be due Sunday by midnight. So those are going to be your weekly reading logs, and then your weekly articles that have a Google form with them. There's a couple of weeks where it's a discussion question instead of a Google form. And then the other 50% of your grade comes from your novel assessments. And I'll talk about those here shortly. The big thing with the assessments are kind of just planning out your reading so you have the assessment done in the appropriate amount of time. So the first assessment is due Wednesday, June 28th. And the second one is due that last day of school, but notice the due time, it's at 3:30 instead of our normal midnight due time. So just kind of keep that in mind. Okay. As far as picking your novels, so your novels should be written within the 9th and 12th grade level. So again, you just want to make sure they're appropriate for your age. Novels need to be at least 150 pages, and then all novels need to be approved by me before you start reading them. So you'll notice on our Google Classroom, there is a Google Sheet there for you to complete your novel selection, and then I will approve those. I'll look at those a couple of times a day during these first couple of days, just so I can approve them and you can start reading. You have to read 2 novels throughout the course. The only exception is some students will choose to read like the Da Vinci Code. That is a 700-page book. So if you are reading something really rigorous and difficult and long, you may get permission to read just one novel instead of the 2. But again, that would really need to be one of these kind of American classics that are of the upper reading levels. It's not going to work with some of these young adult novels, so don't try it that way. You would be reading 2. Okay. Again, ideally, you'll be reading 1 hour each day to kind of meet the class requirements. I understand that that is a lot for some people. So if you are not a natural reader at this point in your life, work up to 1 hour. You can start with 20 minutes a day, and then the next day aim for 25. Again, the more you read, I really do think the more your kind of attention span will grow. Okay, here are the novel assessments. Again, you will have 2 of these throughout the course. So option 1 is you complete a book talk. And again, there's more information about these assessments underneath our Google Classroom, but this is an option. You can complete a book talk. Okay. Option 2 is you can take a test that is specific to your book. These tests are created by an online platform. I do not create these tests, and they're not an option for every single book. So if this is what you're wanting to do, make sure you reach out to me with plenty of time for me to let you know if this assessment is even an option for you. Again, this is usually the least popular option for students because I will say the tests are very specific as far as the questions they ask. They tend to be kind of difficult, and I don't know, I think students avoid it because you're kind of just stuck with the grade you get. The most popular assessment option is option C, which this is an open-ended response. So you can see this underneath Google Classroom as well, kind of preview those questions and kind of know what you're looking out for as you read, okay? Our first novel assessment is due Wednesday, June 28th by midnight. Okay, I apologize for my dog. Okay, and then just a little bit, I want to talk about our Google Classroom. So you will notice underneath that classwork tab, that is where you're doing your work. We have a couple of different topics. The first one is course overview. So do please spend a little bit of time looking at that information so you make sure you understand the requirements and kind of expectations. The next topic are your weekly logs. Again, you will read for an hour and then complete the log. Those shouldn't take you a huge amount of time, but do look at the example on the logs just so you understand the expectation. Don't try to write me 2 sentences and think you're going to get full credit. The next topic is that Google form and Google discussion. So for this week, for example, the Google form is just a quiz over the class itself. Next week's, you'll be reading an article and answering some questions. And then your novel assessments. The first one is already available, but again, that one is not due until Wednesday, the 28th. Okay. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out to me and I can answer those for you.